Okay, chat. How's everybody doing tonight? Let's do a brief audio and visual check. You can see we have with us Baron. Baron, how are you? Let's do an audio check for yourself.
I'm doing good. Doing good.
Good, great. Make sure we don't have any echo. I'm always playing with the settings, trying to get everything set up. Everyone can see. I'm in a short Nasdaq. Short Nasdaq from 410. Go ahead.
I'm also in that short too.
You're also in a short. So both of us are in a short. We're both in our live accounts. Baron is short from 415. Much better. I mean, 5 points better than I am. Two minis, right? Minis?
Yeah, 2 minis. 2 minis.
Great trade. I'm short from 410, a little bit worse price, but 5 minis. My CYA is 443, and your CYA is 436. I do like your CYA. We had that nice pump up to those 430s, rejected, and we're starting to sell off a little bit.
Yeah, we saw, for me at least, right, like I love the fibs. We saw us reject there in the PM, right? But this was like right at close. So rejected lower and then came back up to it, rejected again. So that's like my reasoning behind the trade. We also rejected from this resistance area right at, what is that, 1 p.m. Eastern, 1:20 Eastern. So pretty strong rejection to the downside.
And I like your target. I do. I mean,
it's a bit far. It's a bit far, but last night, if I held my short last night, it would have been a 130-point trade. Because I was short. I was short up here at my entry was 21,405, and my TP was 21,259, and then we went even lower. We went 50 points lower than that. So
I don't even want to talk about my short last night, man.
I know. I'm kicking myself.
I let out on the freaking heavy bag.
I had 10 cons on in a separate account, and I ended up closing it.
Yeah, Danny, my short from last night, man. I just let it all out on the heavy bag, and my shoulders are sore. I was so pissed off last night. We had that gap down. You can see on my chart, we had that gap down. We rallied. I got in short, and then my CYA was basically at 408. We pumped all the way up, tagged 411, stopped me out, and then we just tanked. And then we tanked, and we hit all of my take profits. We hit the 330s, we hit the 280s, 290s, and we even hit and broke through those 240s. So honestly, this is almost identical to the trade from last night. I'm playing this as a range-bound market, obviously with a little bit of a bias to the upside because we're range-bound kind of in a channel. And so I really do think it's going to be very similar to last night, Baron. I think that we could have a decent chance to selling off and maybe testing that range that we were in for most of the morning here in the New York session. I do like your targets of the lower 300s. I don't know if we could break 300s.
We even go for like the 250s, like somewhere in here where we saw support before, see if we retest it again. It's far, right? And I mean, sometimes the overnight's really quick, but recently it's been slow with the VIX being down. So on the hourly, right? Like we're just in consolidation right now. So we'll see if we break that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, or we're just too bearish in this type of a market. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I am typically I'm a perma bull. All of my personal accounts, it's longer term options and like long, right? Buying calls, buying stock, selling cash secured puts, and I'm doing really well in my personal from the long term perspective, 3-6 months out. But my day trading, what I'm doing here at Topstep, has been just horrible. And it's just, I think it's my bias of trying to understand, like, if we look at my chart and we look at, say, a daily, let's do the regular analysis on how we've just had such a massive rally and just waiting, expecting a pullback. And it's the typical, the markets could stay irrational longer than I could stay solvent type of thing. And today at least we got kind of a consolidation day, a pin bar, doji candle on the daily. I don't know what you want to call it, You had that target earlier from 21,500. It hit it. It rejected off of that. So, yeah, I'd love to see this market retrace back down to the 230s again, get some more consolidation in before we make another rally up. I want to get long this market and make a run for maybe all-time highs before this summer.
I think all-time highs are possible in like June or July sometimes, but we're gonna have to see. Obviously, next FOMC meeting in June, and then see what these trade deals are coming through.
All-time highs tomorrow, man. I mean, if we just measure this move we had this week, if we get something similar, I mean, we will be at all-time highs.
Yeah, it's only 5% away. It's not that far off.
No, but I want to be in it, and I don't want to just.
We need a retrace. Really, yes. If you look at the daily, it looks like it needs a retrace. But the thing that I've kind of learned is, and I've started to base this back in stats, is when you start getting these rallies, right, you get these massive bull legs or massive bear legs. You look at the previous day, right? So I was bullish coming into today because on Wednesday we swept Tuesday's high. So this candle should close green, right, based off stats. It's more likely to close green, and we did barely, but right, it's something that I started to look at on the daily, where you just start to see these price legs, right, of short, right, all the way down, and then once you start to rally, right, like I use if we're on coming into Wednesday, did Tuesday sweep Monday's high? That's kind of what I've started to use. It's a great concept to start to understand if you are on Edgeful. If you have an Edgeful subscription, it's called the previous day range report, and that shows, I think it's about a 60% chance of it's like 65% chance, 70% chance somewhere in there of the next candle printing red or green. And if you avoid using it in consolidation and you just focus on it with bear or bull legs, it's a super powerful stat.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, numbers don't lie, right? Statistics. And look, we did get a little bit of a breakdown, testing below 400, or at least we tested 400 here in the NASDAQ. And I want to see us break below these 380s for me to even feel more confident in this trade. But one thing I wanted to point out is, we could always expect a pullback, and then we keep getting stopped out to the long side. They say, markets rally not just because of lack of, usually the sellers that are exiting positions or getting liquidated typically tend to push this market up, right? A short squeeze. But if we do get a pullback, some targets that I'm watching here on the daily is back from January. Some of those lows where if we do get a pullback, maybe we come down and test these 21,100s. If it is a dramatic sell-off, that's where I would love to just, all right, okay, permabull, back in, engage, get into some longer-term trades, see if we can then, if we get that pullback, then prepare for that move up higher.
Based off, because I use fibs on every time frame. If I was looking at this, we get in the 2100s, like that's right in the golden pocket, right? That 0.5 to 786, right? Somewhere in that range. So I also like that to start to get long. You could build an options position, right? Dakota, you trade options a lot. You probably trade them more than I do. What's your typical expiration date on options?
It depends, man. It depends on so many things, but
yeah, obviously that's the thing, because people ask me, they're like, should I learn options or futures? And I'm like, options are so complicated. Like futures is straight price action, and options, it's like, okay, I have to determine the strike price. I have to determine the what time frame I want to trade this on, what it's in, look at the Greeks, like all of that, and it's a lot to start learning as a beginner.
Correct. As a beginner, it's easier to focus on, try futures, basic price action, understand a lot of the basics, the fundamentals, risk management, and then if you want to get into options, then you could start going through that way, because options can be as simple, but then as complicated as you want to make it, right? As simple as you like this stock, you buy one call, right? And you want it to go up. It could be very simple, but then it could go as complex as cash secured, and you can talk about straddles, butterflies, iron condors. Just so complex. But for me, the basics is I like 3 to 6 months out, typically, and I sell cash secured puts on stock that I want to own. On stock that I do own, I would sell calls, and it's a wheel strategy. It's one of the most simplest and basics. It's not
strategy, yeah, I've
rocket science, but it's consistent and boring, consistent, and it works. And it's nothing fancy. It's you could Google the wheel strategy, and everybody knows it. It's not new. I didn't invent anything. The only thing that I've used to improve it, though, it's DBA concepts, everybody. The wheel strategy, we call it the DBA concepts. But the one thing that I've done to improve it is using my technical analysis and timing. Timing when it comes to executing the wheel strategy has increased my expected return over a longer period of time. And this market's starting to consolidate. Let's take a look at the hourly chart. So I'll show everybody what I was looking at, and I think you're kind of seeing the same thing. Is for some reason, man, that 1,500 contracts is still on my mind, and it got executed at 399 3/4. And so what I see,
you don't know if they closed out or not.
I know, but for some reason it's still on my mind. Okay,
it's like looking at options flow and like only looking at one side. Like, okay, there's 20 million worth of volume traded on this XBX contract, but you're not looking if they close it out or not.
Yeah. I mean, you could make an argument that it's very bullish because the market. And I was going to post this on Twitter saying, what's important? What's more impressive? The fact that a single company or single account or whatever had a sell limit for 1,500 contracts, or the fact that the market went up to it and actually filled it. That's pretty damn bullish. But I have never seen a order that huge come in and get filled. That's why it's been on my mind. But let me show you what I'm looking at here on the hourly chart. We had this major resistance. And that just so happens to be where that 1,500 contract got filled. And today during the New York session, we had that nice breakout rally. And then we rejected in the afternoon. And now we're starting to see resistance again at this level. So I am more inclined that this market could do kind of I'm not expecting this big sell-off like we did last night. And I wish, because I was in that short. But I'm expecting at least some bit of a rotation back down towards the mid 300s to go back into where we were consolidating. Maybe I'm looking at 330s again, where we've seen a lot of support and resistance. But I'm looking for consolidation. It is Friday. This is Friday's price action. Anything can happen, as we've seen. But I'm happy. I'm in this position. I have a decent stop loss. Is my stop loss going to be a better entry? You never know. I have you on my side now, which typically you said in the green room, we're usually against each other, but
yeah, we're always hitting each other.
We're in the same direction. We're both short. So that also is kind of let's get this. And Andrew in the chat says 1,500 contracts is about 30 million in maintenance margin. I'm not sure if that's overnight or day, but it's $30,000 a point. So whether they're just taking profit or hedging a underlying position or whatever the reasons is, it's a big move at a price level that we're still kind of consolidating around, right? We're just hanging around that. So it's interesting. Do I trade off of it? No. But okay. All right. There's 10 points.
That's nice. Yeah.
Yeah. There's 10 points. Oh, big order just came in. You see that? There's 100 sitting there. Okay. All right. We're making money tonight.
Yeah. There we go. I learned this in my Discord too. So hopefully some people are.
Let's get it. Okay. Let's break these lows now.
I do have 10 cons on another account. Same exact
Okay. You're going for this. Here we go. Break new session lows. New session lows here. 370s.
This looks good.
Man, here we go. We're rocking and rolling tonight. We convinced this market of shorting. We talked the short into the.
Hey, the one time we take a trade together, Dakota, it's working out.
True. I mean, we should do this every Thursday, right? Is that what we're saying?
Yeah, I think so.
Look at that sell-off. Is that news? Anybody? Chat? Is there news popping off right now? Always in a practice account. This is my live, baby. This is mine, and then Baron is also in his live account.
Yeah, you can even see the account number on my live.
Yeah. These pocket watchers, man, they love it.
I saw you getting into some beef with Patrick Wieland on Twitter.
It's one-sided, man. That's so one-sided.
It's like you can't do anything. You can't do anything because that's how he is. But I personally would never try to get into beef with him because he will come for next. He comes for next and he does not stop.
Yeah, it's just so one-sided. I'm happy to see trading in live accounts. Like, that's all I've ever wanted. Hey, let's focus on trading live accounts and good trading. That's it.
Yeah.
Transparency, good trading, live accounts, and whatever you're doing, that's amazing. But when it comes to beef and the drama on social media, just I don't want to be involved. I'll ignore it. And I see stuff, I read stuff, and I don't care. I remember back in junior high, there was plenty of kids, and it's like, yeah, you could name call and start drama all you want, but it's people are weird, man. People are weird.
I mean, he's still a good trader though. Like I've seen him, I've seen like the stats he posts. Like it's really like trading's hard enough. Why do we have to beef about shit? But I get some of it because there are a lot of scammers in this space, unfortunately.
Yes.
Like there's a lot of people who paper trade and all that, but like you're trading on a live account, and I mean like you also trade a personal account too, right? And like you do well in the personal. I think you get a lot of shit because your win rate's not that high, but I don't think a lot of people understand like as long as your win rate and your risk to reward, right? As long as those two numbers line up to a positive profit factor, does it matter if you have a 30% win rate? You could have
and
5% win rate. As long as you're hitting like 10 to 1 trades, you're profitable.
Yeah. This past few months, April was great for me. May, I'm struggling a little bit. Everyone's seen it, but for me, the most important thing is transparency. Like, hey, you could be trading really well, you could struggling, transparent. I'm here to teach traders. This account, I don't want to say it doesn't mean anything to me. I've been doing my best. Like, hey, if I make money in this account, I want to just donate it. If I make 50,000, I'm probably going to be donating a lot of this. I want to continue to donate it. I'm not saying this is small. I'll never discredit size, but I showed everybody last week with Coach Jay my worst day this week. My worst day this year is $270,000 loss.
Yeah,
my best day this year was plus like 240, 250. But then traders are seeing me take a $3,000 loss, and I'm like, it doesn't mean too much. The process means more to me than anything else. And look at this trade. We are selling off, Baron.
I think my worst day this year's been 30 grand, but my best day's been like 60 or 70, somewhere in there.
Nice. Look at this trade. There's a big order down at 359. There's 50 contracts sitting at 359. Man, what a momentum. Any news still? Anybody chat? I get all my news from chat. Nothing really going.
I did see there was some short dated Nvidia expiration, Nvidia puts. There's quite a bit of volume on that. I can't remember the exact volume. But I did see that towards the end of the day today.
All right. I mean, can we keep going down is the question. I almost added to this too.
My Discord saying when Baron and Dakota are on the same bias full port.
Well, so far. Oh, that reminds me. Chat. In the YouTube chat, there is the Top Step risk disclosure. I need to make
Yeah, we
sure
didn't
we
go through that.
post that. Yeah, good reminder. Good reminder. In the YouTube chat, there's our Top Step risk disclosure. Everything you see, this is for educational purposes only. It's not a signals class. We're here to help traders. This is not financial advice. Let's make sure we get that one through the way. But yeah, man, this is the first. It's been a while since we've been aligned in a direction, and I mean, yeah, full port when we are. Look at this market going back, testing these lows. Five-minute chart just finished. I think we get another down leg. If this was volatility how it was last month, then I think we could already be closer to the 300 level. There's 50 contracts.
I could see this going down to the 200 level. So
Okay.
somewhere in that 200 level.
Should we add to it then? Is that what you're saying?
No, I think we're too far from entry to add.
Yeah, I'm Joe.
Yeah. But you have 5 cons on, Dakota?
Yeah, I have 5 minis. I'm up 4,000.
Okay, I'm up about $2,000. So
That's big though, because your daily loss limit's 1,500. So that's
yeah.
your daily loss limit plus some.
I really need to start locking the account when I'm up, because I did have a day a couple weeks ago where I was up $9,000 and I hit daily loss limit.
Oof.
Yeah.
Oof.
So
yeah, I remember you telling me that.
That was brutal. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I did that. And it was when I was in New York. It was when I was in New York with he like helps me run my Discord and like some other things. And he also trades. And he was like, bro, you're up $9,000. And it's like literally like 15 minutes into open. And then I started using more size, right? And the market was still wild back then. This was back in April. So
just a month ago.
yeah, it was like I got stopped 3 times on 3 cons for 50 points. So just absolutely got cooked on that, unfortunately.
It's learning though. It's learning. I know I've been in that similar situation.
I've been through it enough where I should like already have it ingrained in my brain. But I mean, how I was able to like stack my XFA balance to get into the live was I would typically lock the account at like a 2K profit target somewhere in there. And then I had a few standout days. I had one day where I made 15K across the 4, 15K on each account. So that was 60,000. And then I had a few other days where I'd make like 6-7 grand somewhere in there. Literally just using like 2 or 3 minis. So now, like, I think I just need to get back to that same size, right, where I'm using 2 or 3 minis. Obviously, the market's cooled back down to like where we were back in January. So I think these next few months will be pretty productive for the live account. And now I got the performance bonuses to shoot for.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I starting this week, I was up $7,500, so I was halfway to the performance bonus. But this week has been so rough for me. I'm now further away than where I started, so I still have some ways to go.
I think I'm in the negative towards the performance bonus.
I think I am now. After yesterday, I think I am. If that trade didn't freaking stop me out, I might have just gotten that performance bonus in a trade. But yeah, I'm not going to be process over profits, everyone. So if this trade does end up continuing to sell off, I'm not thinking about performance bonus. I'm not thinking about anything. It's just following the correct process. And yeah, it's been 3 daily loss limits in a row for me. So 3,000, 3,000, 3,000. And,
yeah,
you know, I mean, knock on wood, I'm not going to, count the eggs before it hatches. I'm not going to, the trade's still open. Anything can happen. It could still be a loss. But if this market does sell off, then yeah, there's a world where I just had 3 losing days in a row. and one trade on one day made up for the entire week. And that's that upside down risk reward that I get a lot of crap for.
Yeah, I just got filled on another account. Just
You're
made,
going for it. Are you short on another account?
yeah, I'm short on another account. I just took profit at 50 points.
Okay. Okay.
I had 3 minis on that one. I trade so many accounts that it's hard to manage sometimes. But I typically don't recommend people to trade on multiple accounts at the same time because it's too much to manage. Focus on one account at a time.
Fair enough.
When it's slow markets, though, I think when it's slow markets, it's a little bit easier because the market's not moving so quickly. And I always use bracket orders, so I don't have to worry about the resting limit orders or any of that.
Okay. Yeah, and it's slower, right? It's a lot slower pace and switching accounts and all that, so it makes sense. I did move my stop loss. My stop loss is now at 416, just below where we started this breakdown.
Mine's at 390, so if it stops me out, I'm up 1,000. That's kind of my thought process.
Nice. Let's see. I still see that big order. There's a big order, 50 contracts basically at 359. I'm pretty confident that there could be a chance we could just run through that to 59. And yeah, I mean, let's see if we could get this. This will be one of the better slow markets trades I've had in a while. I miss trading in 30 contracts and holding 30 contracts overnight. I need to get back up to that level.
30 contracts?
Yeah, it was about this time last year.
30 contracts is crazy. I think, well, okay, to be fair, when I had the 5 XFAs, I had 5 XFAs in November, and I traded 15 cons on each of them, so it was 75 cons total. That's crazy. I did the math on it. I was like, this is actually like insane of me to be trying to do this.
Yeah, exactly. The performance bonus that we were talking about, yes, you could withdraw it. I don't know where that misinformation came. There's lots of misinformation out online. People that do not like Topstep for whatever reason or just wants to spread rumors. The live account bonus can be withdrawn as normal, right? If you get the live account bonus, Baron, the next time you take a payout, you could withdraw it.
I know. I'm shooting for that. I want to get that first one by end of May, so then I can get the next one in June, next one in July, right? I think I don't think it's that hard until you get to the 100K target, right? The 15 to 20K, I think that one's easy, or not easy, but like it's manageable. The 20 to 50K, I think that's still manageable. 50 to 100K, I think that's still manageable. And then once you get to that 100K, I think that's where it's like, okay, now this is getting serious, right? Like this is harder. You got to be trading with some size to start getting those.
Yeah, look, Will, we pierced through those 359. We're at 359, so we hit that order. The nice thing is, from the day the live account bonus started is when they kept track, because I'm down for the year in my live account. And so I'm like, oh man, it's going to be a while since I get it. But then the risk management team confirmed, they're like, hey, it starts the day that we announced it. And then I'm just like, hell yeah. Yeah. Let's get it.
I got moved to the live with a 140K balance. And I think I'm sitting just above like 6 figures, like just barely above 100K. So this past 2 months, I've just been going between, like, I've been having big days. So it like wipes out all the days that I hit that daily loss limit, but then I just hit the daily loss limit over and over again. This past, I was going through my Topstep stats, and I was like, the amount of days I was up like 2 or 3 grand where I should have just locked the account and then ended up hitting the daily loss limit. It was kind of disgusting to look at. And like I've been on like a 20-day loss streak in this live account. I snapped that yesterday. I had $5,500 day.
Okay.
I was up 7,500 at one point, but I was floating the trade. I just tightened my stop. I did something similar that I did today on fast markets where it was approaching my TP. I just was aggressive with the stop, and then it ended up reversing. I didn't stop me out for like I forget how many points in profit, but and then I called my friend Eric, right? I call Eric my risk manager, right? Because he picks up on like the first or second ring.
Oh yeah.
I'm like
Here at
I'm like,
Topstep.
hey, Mr. Risk Manager, should I lock the account? He's like, bro, just fucking lock it, just fucking lock it.
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
Nice. Joe Black. Yes, you heard it right. I've been clear about it.
yeah. I mean, I'm clear about it too, right? Like I was what, number 15 on the big board, and now I'm like
Mhm.
sitting on number 36 or 38 or somewhere in there.
Yeah.
I think I have to make 20 grand or something to get back up in that top 25. So I think that's doable. For me, I think I could honestly, I think I could do it in a week if I really like locked in on it.
Yeah. Process over profits, man. I mean, you could do it in 3 months. Let's see. If we get another push down into those 40s, I'm going to close out my first contract. I want to see another momentum burst. Break through these 50s. What a trade, man. We finally get aligned. Yeah,
Great
close out
trade.
at 1.
Great trade, Dakota. I think we can honestly, I don't think this 260 target, I don't think it's that unrealistic now.
No, it needs to keep going.
I could see it even going down. I could see the 100 level. I feel like we might see the 100 level at some point tomorrow. Not
Okay.
tonight, but either
5
in
minutes.
the London session or the New York.
Mm-hmm. Question: how do you pay bills with fake money? Well, you can't, right? You can't pay bills with fake money. What kind of question is that? I,
Uh,
dude, the chat's undefeated. Well, we pushed down to. I closed one off at 56. We bounced a little bit off that. Man, that happened pretty fast. We're only down 0.1% on the Nasdaq for the day, so there's plenty of room, And let's look at the I want to take a look back at the daily chart. So yeah, I mean there's still plenty of room to the downside.
yeah, the daily close for today was kind of ugly. I thought we would trend all day, and then we pushed into that resistance zone and immediately rejected out of it. So
Hmm. The only thing I don't
I
want to
think
see
I
is
think this is just going to be a slow grind down, um, and then you'll see like pops of volatility here and there.
yep. Yeah, we're under that major resistance, so I'm pretty happy where my stop is. I'm pretty happy with this position overall. And you're always nervous whenever you're in a trade that, especially in this market where you could blink and we're up 40 more points.
Yeah.
Erased it and stopped out like what it's like what happened? Some deal, something went on. But I like this setup. Fact that we broke down through those so fast tonight, I'm pretty surprised on how fast we broke through all that, and we held below 400. We gained that momentum down, and
Yeah, the moment we got to that VWAP, right off that rejection, we just had hard selling below it, right? That kind of tells me bears are in control, at least for right now. And then another thing, I honestly, one of the indicators I love to use that I just started using this a couple months ago. It's the 8 EMA on the 15-minute time frame.
okay,
It gives you very like clear indications of trends, and you'll see like if you look at it today, right, the 8 EMA 15-minute, if you're above the VWAP and you're above the 8 EMA, it tells you, right, like we're gonna probably keep rallying. If you're below it, right, probably gonna keep selling. It's a great, like, very simple system, just the VWAP 8 EMA on the 15-minute, and then you just trail stops based off the 15, and it lets you hold those trades for a very long time.
nice. I love it. And you're still in this trade. You're still short on your 2,
Yep,
and
I didn't see that at all.
your day loss limit's only 1,500. You're up 23s. and you've locked in profit. That's a beautiful thing. And here we are
Yeah.
pushing these lows again into the 50s. You have your take profit at what, 305 or
Yeah. If we
260?
get a nice area where I can move my stop, I'm willing to move this lower to target that like 200 level.
Okay.
But I mean, how far is that? It's 215 points. That's a crazy trade. 215 points is a crazy trade. I know that like the market was just we'd have 800-point days, and I think like I had a lot of new students who are like brand new to trading. They'd only been trading for like 3-4 months, and they're not used to these conditions, but they were used to the crazy conditions. And it's like, well, you got it backwards, because like these are the conditions that you should really like know and understand, because these are like this is the more common state of the market where it's
Correct.
lower like this, and that volatility only lasted a couple months.
Yeah, and
Right, it could have lasted longer if there were no trade deals or whatever it was, and inflation was picking up, right? But this is like the common state of the market.
you see this type of market condition a lot more often, and same with my VIP team. This season was basically the past few months, which was just so abnormal, and so for a VIP team and them to learn in that market environment, same thing. It's just like, wow. Good luck with the next one, and it's going to be interesting to see how the next team is going to be in this type of market condition, and hopefully it's not as insane as the last few months. I am looking at this, Baron, that there is higher lows here on this 5-minute chart, and we did just get down to this level. So if we do start to break this even further,
yeah, I'll probably get out as well. I'm solely just basing it off the 15-minute strat right now with the EMA and the VWAP, trying to ride it lower. But yeah, I could potentially see a bounce here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, even I wouldn't even mind a bounce up to 380. I mean, markets typically don't go straight unless it's towards my stop loss. Then we'll just go straight. But I don't mind pullbacks. I don't mind pullbacks. It gives me a good area and reference points for moving stop losses. Have you ever had a trade that you just get in and it went straight to your take profit without any pullbacks, any of that?
Yeah.
How often? Very rare?
Not very rare. Like it happens, but it's just like not the common occurrence, right? But I mean, because I like the fib reaction levels, and if you can get in on a wick out of a fib level, and you've got a 60-point take profit, right? Like you could see it just smash instantly, right? Like today, I mean, if you got in on this wick, was a 0.5 test, 378 to 438, right? 80 to what, 40? That's 60 points, right? Like you could see that. It's just like you have to be super quick on the entry.
Got it. Timing is very important when it comes to that. The one that you had was overnight set it and forget it. Gold selling fast. I haven't looked at gold yet tonight, chat. I know gold was on a ripper today. I mean, you look at this move on gold, and that was 4%. So, I mean, I would be hesitant shorting this thing. I mean, that's one heck of a market. This is a 5-minute chart, and gold was just straight up. And you look at like the hourly chart. That's big. That's a big move. I forgot. I'm not even sharing this with you, Baron. Let me make sure. There you go.
Yeah, I haven't been able to see anything the entire stream.
Yeah, there we go. Okay.
I was literally just talking to a blank screen.
You can see it now, right?
But yeah. But like
Okay.
I'm kind of used to it because I used to watch slow markets, and I wouldn't necessarily watch the stream, but I just listen in, right? So I just have the YouTube video up on my phone, and I'd be like doing laundry or like cleaning the kitchen or whatever it is. So I was like, I'm used to hearing your voice.
Fair enough.
With nothing there.
All right. Well, you got the charts and you got everything now. Let's see if I can get some music in here. Let's make sure it's not too loud. So we'll get some music. Make sure you can hear it. All right. Let's see if we get another leg lower back into those 350s. Let's see it. Oh, no music. What else are we supposed to do? We're gonna chill and watch this trade play out. We already got in our position. We talked the markets, and now the one thing we left to do is just vibe and enjoy this market. Hopefully, watch it sell off.
You can't hear my keyboard, right?
Oh, I could hear it.
Okay. I can mute if I'm typing.
It was going with the beat. Back into these 350s. 356. See if we could break this low.
I have a friend coming over tomorrow. He's never traded futures in his life, and I think we're gonna get him started. Actually, I should probably get him started on paper trading before he even touches a combine.
Yeah, definitely. Before he puts any money into learn the basics, right? Bid, ask, limit orders, stop orders. What's your oh, what's it called? How fast can you type per minute? What's it called? Words per minute?
Words per minute? I don't know. I haven't done a test. It's probably not like the fastest, but it's probably decently fast. I mean, I grew up playing computer games, right? I used to play Warcraft 3. I used to play a lot of League of Legends too.
Okay.
But so I started playing that game in season 3. I think they're on like season 17 or something like that. I don't follow it anymore.
All right, I'm gonna send you a link. Let's test it out. I'm gonna try it and then you try it.
Okay.
We're gonna do this.
Okay.
I've been wanting to play like a chess match on Jay, but I think this would be good. We're testing our words.
Are you good at chess?
Yeah. I'm. Eh.
Do you know your elo rating?
I know how the pieces move.
Okay.
Okay, there it is.
1 minute test, medium text.
Yeah, 1 minute test, medium text.
Okay. All right.
We
it's loading.
Whenever you're ready, we get. Yeah. It says
I
loading.
forgot the column. I'm messing up with the capses and the punctuation. I messed up on a word. No, I'm panicking. Oh my gosh, I'm fucking up so
I don't like
bad.
these numbers. The numbers throw me off.
Oh my gosh, I just fat fingered. Okay, it's done.
All right.
I think you need 41,
All right, let's see this.
41 words per minute.
You got what?
41 words per minute.
Mine's loading.
Accuracy. Okay, I'm pretty much average. I'm slightly above average.
Mine's not showing the results. It says view your typing test results. It's just a blue screen.
This is mine. Let me show this tab.
Okay, there it is. Average. You're above average. Okay, let's see. Mine's
Slightly
not
above
loading.
average. slightly above average. I feel like I could get. I feel like I could get up. To
Hey
like
Jim,
50.
I'm just following up
we're showing
about
spam.
our call
Spam.
last
Stop.
week. Do you have any
I
more
don't know
questions?
what's going on.
Lowered status for
Skip. Okay, 57. What was yours?
Mine was 38.
Okay. What was the accuracy? Is there a
92%, something like that.
Oh, so you were more accurate than I was, so
92%, 41 words per minute. I feel like I could get up to like 50 or 60, somewhere in there.
yeah, this one was mine. It's 7 typos. 7 typos.
You're speedy, but typos. I mean, if you've got, like everything's autocorrect nowadays, so you don't have to worry about the typos.
I know. Oh, that's been a while since I typed like that. Gotta get warmed up. Market's still hanging near the lows.
Mute keyboard. Baron's locked in. Quick equal. My Discord sent me the chat.
Just waiting for us to break through these 50s. We're holding the 50s. JT, you guys aren't concerned? Well, we already had the trade play out. We already had it set up. There's
Oh
not
my
much
gosh.
we can do, right?
Someone in my Discord, he's a software engineer. He sent his typing test, 93 words per minute, 98% accuracy.
Jesus.
Crazy, bro.
I think at my prime, I was up there. You got to keep practicing it though. We hit a freestyle. Let's break through this. I think we can.
Yeah, I mean it still looks good on 15 minutes.
Yeah, we keep testing these lows. What was your APM though when you were gaming?
I honestly never checked that.
All right, okay.
I never checked that. I mean, when I was playing Warcraft 3, I was in like middle school, so it was like I was in grade school and middle school, so I wasn't really focused on the APM. It was more like I was playing the game for fun.
Yeah. Someone in the chat saying, take the profit.
No, I think it still looks good to the downside.
Process over profits, baby.
I'm gonna tighten my stop a little bit. Give me 5 more points of profit.
Yeah, I'm gonna tighten the stop loss a little bit more. We keep smacking into those 56s.
That profit, you know.
Nice. Yeah, you're in 30 points of profit no matter what.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got a better entry. That's nice. Nice setup. Nice trade. I think we could flush here.
I think so.
Flush.
Too. I think it looks good. It looks good to flush. There's yeah, this, like, if you look at the 5 minute, it's just continuing to grind lower. I feel like there's going to be a big pop where it just flushes.
It's like a decision zone right here.
Yeah.
NASDAQ's still only down 0.18%, which is basically nothing. I could easily see this going to down 0.5%.
Yeah.
Which is basically to those lower 300s.
Yeah, because typically I could even see this down like 1% on the day or something.
All right.
So like deep, like down into the 200 level.
Someone saying it's a bear flag on a 5-minute. Definitely. This is what they're saying.
Is that a Patrick Weiman concept? PW concept?
I don't know, man.
I'm pretty sure he loves his bear and bull flags.
Bear and bull flags. Been around since I was a baby. Nothing new. Held those 56s again. I don't usually trade slow markets, but I'm joining y'all on this short. The setup is there. Where are you joining from? Because we were short since yesterday, it feels like. We were short 50 points ago. He sees a bear flag. I see a lower part of a bull flag range. Yeah, I could see. I mean, someone could look at this and say,
every trader is going to see a different thing.
yeah, I could easily make an argument to say that we are holding this low, right? Yeah, we're holding this low. There's nice higher lows, higher lows, higher lows. Is this a higher low? Maybe. I'm short, and I'm looking for this thing to break down. That's what makes a market. Buyers and sellers. A bullish FVG, fair value gap. Have you ever traded fair value gaps?
Oh,
fair value
yeah.
gaps?
Dude, I got sucked into that ICT shit for like a year, and I realized like it didn't work for me. I understand it works for some people, right? And it makes sense for some people, but in my head, it just was something that didn't make sense. For me, the fibs and the initial balance, once I found the initial balance, I was like, this makes sense. It happens every single day. I combine it with a fib, right? Something that I've already been using, and then use supply and demand zones for like higher time frame bias. That's where I kind of really started to find my stride. And then started to find like edge full, right? Like you could actually pull stats on everything, and I was like, okay, now I'm good to go.
Fair enough. And I will always make the argument that no matter what you use, if it works for you and you can create a process, then albeit, so be it. Don't get too caught up in the trend, thinking that something is the holy grail or this or that. It's good to learn from someone, but then, find your own way, find your own process, develop your own process.
Someone in my Discord, same guy who had the crazy words per minute, he just made he used Edgeful and Topstep's API, TopstepX API, to automate his trades on gold.
In gold, okay.
Yeah, and it just took his first trade.
Sick. Man, look at gold. Gold is selling off last little bit while we've been waiting. Come on, NASDAQ. There we go. I flip, I look at gold, and here we are into the 50, the 350. I think one more nice momentum push down into the lower 40s. I'll close out of one more contract.
Yeah, I'll close one if we start pushing down into like the 320 area or 330, somewhere in there.
I want to see momentum, though. I don't like it when we barely break and then we find buyers like we're doing right now.
Yeah.
I didn't see any big orders come through though. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, I want to see momentum below that 50 level. We hit it and bounced. Lower highs though, still consolidating here. Do you adjust your CYA? Yeah, I've adjusted my CYA a few times. It was at 440s, then it was down to like 20s. Now it's down at 15, which is basically your entry, Baron. And then, I mean, we haven't. There's been no valid pivot, to be honest. There's been no valid, pullback, and then continuation. So I'm still fine with this trade. I would love for it to go straight down, right? Everybody loves for the market to just go straight in the direction and make money. But I'm not opposed to this market to do something where we have some type of a bounce. Maybe we retest 380s, and then we get continuation down. And that will give me a way to move my stop loss. I'm not opposed to either of that. But then we're coming up on time, right? We still have 30 minutes left of slow markets. I am going to be going to bed. I don't want to hold this trade overnight. I know.
I was up really late last night trying to trade, and I'm like, I need to focus on my sleep.
Yeah.
I just got a Whoop again, like this little thing.
Okay,
I've had one in the past. It tracks your sleep and all that. So it will tell you. It should tell me how old I am based off their health metrics.
Interesting. Yeah, I've actually planning on getting one myself.
If you need a referral code, let me know.
Okay, man. Yeah, we rejected those 50s, and we are bouncing now. That was 16-point bounce, 17-point bounce, 18-point bounce, 19-point bounce. Buyers stepping in for a moment. Can't get mad at this trade. It's a guaranteed profit no matter what. Is this a liquidity sweep? Yeah, you could look at this and say that was a liquidity sweep, right? If somebody was long here, we just ran. If someone had some stop losses at 50, I ain't mad at it. I still do believe that this market can continue to push lower into the London session. Maybe we reverse London session, but so many times I've seen this market actually just pick a direction during slow markets, and then we just continue, and then it doesn't reverse until like London plus or minus a couple hours. Or we just be completely wrong. This market just starts rallying, and then I'm all like, damn it.
If you look at, I've checked Edgeful to try to see like how London and Asia kind of trade. There is a session correlation between London and Asia, right? If you shorten the time frames, so you make Asia from New York, or from the reopen, the Globex reopen to 1 a.m. Eastern, and then you start London at 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. Eastern. There's a pretty strong correlation between the two.
Okay.
And then another thing, London also likes to break one side of Asia as well. It's about, I think it's like 75% chance.
There's some great opportunities there too. I know Aaron trades the London Open and does really well there. D is kind of during the Eurozone, so a little after the London Open. Catch a big piece of that volatility, but yeah, Aaron gets the trade right and on that transition. All right, let's see. I want to see us go back. I don't want to tick lower. I want a complete breakdown like we did when we broke down below those 400s. That nice, 50-point 5-minute candle was a thing of beauty. And not sure why the music stopped. Let's. There we go. Yeah, nice 38-point candle. Whew. Gold.
I think that was failed. That this potentially could be failed buying.
So it looks like that, right? We went right back up to those 68s and rejected. Let's take a
I'm
look.
gonna make my stop again. Just a couple points, nothing crazy. Just an extra 3 points.
I'd love to see gold catch a bid here and start pushing back up to those highs. That'd do well for our NASDAQ short. Let's get to some of these questions. I'm going to catch up some of these questions. Dakota, do you prefer the 50K or 150K? Big-headed astronaut, if you're new and you're still trying to find consistency, don't spend that much money. 50K is fine. But if you have some level of experience and you do have a process, then the 150K account is my preference, right? I've been trading for a while, and so I'd prefer 150. What's your thought on that, Baron?
Okay, so I was using the 150Ks, right? I was using the 150Ks, and I was consistently getting it through the combine, getting the XFA and blowing them because they allow you to trade like 3 minis or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, maybe it's the account size I'm using. I switched over to the 50K, passed my first set, got into the funded, and then in January ran up 200K profit. So for like, I always recommend the 50Ks because honestly, I think it teaches you better discipline because you're not using it. You aren't able to use as much size, right? And you have to be tighter on your losses.
It makes you practice that sizing down and discipline in the 50K.
Yeah. And with Topstep, right? One thing that's great about Topstep is it doesn't matter if you're on a 50K, 100K, or 150K. The 5K payout cap is the same for all of them.
Yeah, true. And then once you gain that confidence, you could always increase it too. It's more about building a process. Once you have that process and that confidence, then you know you're a lot less limited. You could get a little more size. You're still chopping at these 60s to 50s here. Yeah, once you move to live, then there's no limits. There really is no limit. You're live, you could build as big as you want. You could work with the risk team and trade as many contracts, and you can make as much money. There's no caps. There's daily payouts once you've made 30 winning days. The live account is the place to be. There is. All right, we did. Buyers stepped in again, right at those 61, 62 level, testing back up against the 68s. So, not liking this too much from the short side now. Looking like we might have a little bit of a breakout.
I think I'm gonna
Order
get
filled.
out, and if it comes back up, I'll re-enter.
What would you look for to re-enter?
Us to push up to this fib level where the VWAP is, and then start to see rejection there.
What level's that?
That is 21,390s to 21,400s.
Got it. So you're flat now. Up $1,800.
1864.
Nice. Good trade. Good trade. I am still in this. So I don't mind watching it, seeing if we can come up and test these 380s and give us an opportunity to move the stop loss. But now you're not in my direction now. Uh-oh.
Well, I'm still like your direction, Dakota. It's just I'm gonna take the profit and then see if I can get a re-entry, and then use possibly 3 cons on this one.
Okay.
Maybe I should stick to 2. Maybe I just stick to 2.
Do you have a process that determines the size?
Not really. It's more so just based off like it's based off the trade and how much I'm risking on it. Right. If I have incredibly low risk, right, it's only like 10 points or something, then we'll size up to even 5 contracts.
Got it.
In terms of like for risk management, there is a process on that. That it works well when I follow it. It's just sometimes I don't follow it. It's the next trade that if I'm in profit on a trade, my first trade, the next trade I take, the risk shouldn't be more than half the profit.
Okay, I think I said that. What's the
So,
biggest
like,
size that you typically get to?
Typically like 10 minis. Not in
10
the live
minis.
account, but
Okay. And then do you usually scale up once you're in profit, right? You wouldn't just jump into like 5 minis.
No.
Yeah, great trade. You were in, you're out, you've locked up your profit, and I'm still in here watching, seeing if we could test these 380s and then reverse to move my stop loss. Question is, would I add? I don't think so. I think this trade's already in place. I already took one off for $1,000. I'm still in 4 minis. I'm just looking to manage this trade.
Yeah, if we get into the 85s, somewhere in the 90s, I'll enter.
Okay.
I'll enter short again. I still like the short idea. I still like it.
Hopefully we don't get up there though, Baron. Hopefully we just sell off and not even get up that direction.
For me, it's collect the profit and then re-enter, right? It's it's basically like I'm taking the same trade. It's just I'm getting a little more profit on it.
Yeah, a little more. Stay Dangerous says, y'all didn't sell? We've sold an hour ago, man.
I took profit.
Yeah, Baron took profit. I closed profit for one, and having some runners on. Lots of peanuts in the gallery. The stop is break even, chat. The stop is break even on this trade because my realized is 1,000, and if it stopped me out, let's just say something happens, market goes straight up, it's still profitable. This trade's still profitable. Right? Please take 2 more off. Please add. Where's the traders in here saying add? I want them. I want the traders in the chat saying add. Bet more. Put bigger size on. Come on.
I think I might re-enter here.
Order filled.
13-point stop. I like that rejection. I know I said like the 90s area, but we got up to the 80s and started to see that.
What price did you get out, and what price did you get back in?
Let me check the executions. So I got out at 21,386. Got back in at 21,365. So a 3-point difference. So slightly worse. So if I would have just held it out.
1 second. So you got out at
368.
368.
Got back in at 365.
Okay. 3-point difference. Chat's undecided. How does chat manage a trade? Sporadically, getting in, getting out, getting in, getting out until I get to this daily loss limit.
I've done that too many times.
Me too. Yep, me too.
I call that monkey brain. I call that monkey brain, where you're just a monkey and there's 2 buttons in front of you. If you press the wrong one, you're gonna get pepper sprayed. If you press the right one, you're gonna get a banana.
Yep, it's easy to do. It's easy to do. Get caught up on these movements. If you don't have a process, that happens. Right? That's how it is. I go through it. You went through it. Everyone goes through it as a trader. Let's see. Let's go back to all those. Let's go back to all everybody in the chat that was saying close when we were up here. And then what about the ones saying, where's the ads? Adding at the 76s would have been awesome. Adding at 77 would have been awesome. Closing here, adding there, closing here. Maybe adding a little more right there. There's a lot of you could do, and every little move in this market, you could be doing something. Baron, talking about that guy you were talking about earlier, I think the dude's obsessed with me. I just loaded onto my Twitter to post the link in the chat. It's like 10 notifications from him. I'm like,
yeah,
Jesus, get a life.
I mean, drama brings views though, in anything in life. So I see why he does it.
Hey, whatever gets him clicks and views. Maybe I should charge a commission for all the clicks he gets using my name.
Someone in my Discord wants to know if you can accept this Topstep VIP application.
It's not up to me, everyone. It's not up to me for the VIP. I believe it's a drawing, and the drawing is random, and there's check-in forms. So tune into the day show. If I could, I'd be too picky. I'm one of those where I'd be like, if you're showing up and you're actually, being productive and having good comments, I would choose them, which maybe it's not fair. And then some might not be available as much. So it's good that it's random. Well, so far we held that. So, chat, everyone who is long, everyone who is buying this this support, right? Higher low, higher low, higher low. Anyone who bought this higher low is so far happy. Still looking for a place to move my stop loss. What a slow market. We had that big sell-off and then nothing. How big of a sell-off was that from that high? Let's see. What's it? 85 points. Like that's still not nothing. So that's still pretty big. 85 point sell-off. And right now we're getting a 28 point bounce. Let's push back down. Let's push back down. Give us a reason to move the stop loss. There we go. This grocery store music hits.
Yeah, this is definitely like something you hear in Kroger while you're in like the produce section.
Buena música. I like it.
I might add. I kind of want to add, but I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait until this starts to push back lower. I want to get into 3.
You got back in at 365?
365.
Okay. So we're about there. We're about there. There we go. We're pushing. Let's see if we can get that leg lower. I like this. This is now the pivot I want to see. So if we can push back towards those 50s, this is that pivot where I want to move my stop loss. If, right? It's not over yet.
I want to get into a third contract. I just don't. No way.
And anybody, I still do that hashtag slow markets or tag me. If you tag me, I know we were looking at different trader setups the other day. Gold new lows again, says Coach Hoop. Let's see. Bouncing off the middle band, someone's trading Bollinger Bands. Gold melts. Look like it. Let's take a look at gold. Gold is selling off. If you caught that short in gold. After that just monstrous rally overnight and most of the day. We want to see NASDAQ push to the lows. Your keyboard is a signature for you now. You
Oh,
and,
my keyboard.
You and David Green, man.
I've got brown switches. For anyone who's a keyboard nerd, they're just browns.
David Green's the same. Power hour on Wednesdays.
I know you. Well, on on fast markets, I always mute when I'm typing. I always make sure I mute when I'm typing, so that sometimes when I start talking again, I'm like, oh, fuck, I'm muted. So like Andre will ask me a question, and then I start responding. I'm like, he's not responding like the conversation, right? There's the interaction between us. It's not like you can't tell I responded. I'm like, oh fuck, I'm muted.
I mean, I like a mechanical keyboard. I like the way it feels and it sounds when you're typing or doing anything. I don't mind the noise. I know chat it messes with them, I guess, sometimes. But look at this market now, back pushing 62.
I know. So, I added my third con. So.
Oh, you did? Okay, you're adding to that.
I got 12 points of risk. We'll see. We'll see how this plays.
Let's see. I'm trying. I'm gonna do that word per minute. That I was disappointed in my results.
Dissatisfied.
Yeah. We could watch this market sell off. All right. I'm doing the test again. This one's harder. Damn it. All right, let's see. I don't know. There it is. Let's see. Oh, we gotta play an ad. 68. So still a little bit better. That one was a harder one. I was focused on the accuracy. I didn't add anything. I did not add. Trade has not changed for me. Okay, I've been in this trade since we started. Nothing's happened. I'm looking at hopefully being able to move my stop loss just above this pivot here at 370s, but only if we could push back down towards the 350s. We need to see a bit of a sell-off for me to do that. I know. It's sure taking its sweet time. We had that big sell-off, and then this is just consolidating from 50 up to 374. So we've had a 25, 28 point bounce. I might close off one or a couple more. I definitely don't want to go to bed with this position on. I am going to be on fast markets tomorrow morning. Slow markets have been really slow lately. I mean, we still got that 88 point sell off, so it's not horribly slow. Yeah. Yeah, and from what we was, I mean, we had a, let's see, that a 56 point rally up to 430s, and then that 80-point sell-off, and then we have started to slow down. So we've seen some move. There's some opportunities. Where's your stop loss on this one, Baron?
380.
380. Okay. That's about where I want to move my stop, but I haven't moved it yet, so I'm looking for it to push back down into those 50s before I moved it.
Yeah, I'm like I can feel the like sleep starting to catch up, or the tiredness starting to catch up to me. So usually that's a sign for me.
Yeah, definitely. Don't force yourself to trade because you are on slow markets, man.
Yeah. No, I understand. I might close this. It's just like once I get to this point and I'm like this tired, usually things don't go my way. So, I do encourage that, right? Like once you start recognizing behaviors or like certain states of mind, right? Like you can kind of gauge where your trading's best and where your trading's not great.
Correct. Yes. I mean, there's always tomorrow. There's always another opportunity. And that most of the time, 99.99% of the time is the right decision. Or 100%, right? Even if it does start to sell off as soon as you get out, and you always think, dang it, I could have done this, I could have done that. It's like, nah, the right decision is if you have any doubts about your physical or mental capabilities at that moment, I don't know about physical, but any decision making, then it's better to just flat wait until you're at the top of your game, right? You wouldn't want any superstar hitting and going for a game-winning score when they're less than ready, and that's.
I mean, what about Michael Jordan flu game?
Well, that was bad pizza, man. That was bad pizza, and that was it. Was it a playoff?
I think so.
Up one more minute. I think we could end it here. If you want to leave, you can. I'm gonna stay and for maybe a little bit longer, but you definitely need to.
I'll sit on this for another 10 minutes. If it does nothing, I'll probably just close it, go to bed.
All right.
I mean, we've got a nice little buffer for tomorrow to trade with. So I have a friend coming over tomorrow morning. I do a free stream in my Discord on Fridays as well. So,
oh, nice.
Free stream Friday, and then my friend will be over. So, gonna teach him. Gonna give him some sauce. Gonna give him some sauce, some game. Put him on trading.
Yeah, it's the top of the hour. We're seeing a little bit of price movement. Still, just nothing, man. It just died down.
Yeah, it's hard to continue to watch it when it's dead like this.
Yeah, it looked like we were going to get that nice sell-off and break through those 50s, and then just nothing. We're just flatlining in the 10-20 point range here from 70s. We haven't even got down back to those 50s yet. Gold is recovering. Let's take a look at gold. Yeah, let's see gold bounce. If gold starts to just start ripping higher, then I'd be happy with the shorts. But do you ever use time stops? Would you consider this a time stop?
The only really session like where I stop is like typically like 15-30 minutes before New York close, just because the volatility gets so crazy, unless I'm like already in a position, right? Usually, right, like I like to end the day around like 10 or 10:30 or 11, somewhere in there, and then potentially see, like that's typically when I end my stream is 10:30 or 11, and then I'll take a little break, see if there's any setup during lunch or like early PM. If there's nothing, then just call it a day.
Okay. What do you do when you're not trading or you're not in your Discord? Because now you don't have a job. What is a day in the life of you now?
Well, I live in so in Dallas, the place where I live, it's like one of the walkable areas. So I'll like go out, get a coffee, go for a walk on, if anyone's in Dallas, Katy Trail, and then usually I'm like managing Discord, right? Making sure the mentorship group that I'm running, like checking in on their questions, DMs. I try to film like 3 pieces of short form content a day. So once I hop off stream, that's typically
Short
like
what?
first thing to do. Short form content, like
Form.
60 seconds.
Okay.
Yeah,
So just
60
making sure I
seconds or
heard
less.
that right. Short
Yeah.
form. With an F.
Yeah.
Okay.
Filmed 3 pieces of content for that, and then kind of go from there.
Man, the trader lifestyle. I'm excited. Chicago, man. I'm excited for that.
I don't know. That should be fun. Should be fun.
Chat, leave me alone, all right? Yeah, hearing things. It's slow markets. Anyway, yeah, I'm probably gonna stay on for a little bit, but leave whenever you're ready.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait like another 5-10 minutes, somewhere in there.
Okay. You have 7
just
minutes.
chop that.
I'll put a timer on for you. 7 minutes.
Yeah, call it. What is that? 9:10.
Yeah. Yep. We're just flatline now. This is the slowest of markets. Is this a bear or bull flag? Chat. Let me see. What's the tilt? Tilt's 53% short. I don't know. We might wake up and be right here tomorrow. Whole lot of nothing, man. Just very low volume too. Very low volume.
Yeah, it's been dead since that I pushed down.
Yeah. I might consider closing this too, depending on if we actually break through these 80s. Because I originally wanted my stop loss to be if we did have this pivot right here at 380s, and if we was going to be able to make at least go test these lows or break a new low, that's where I wanted my stop loss. Like basically where you have yours, like 380s. But I really do want us to come back up and test these 380s and then reverse. So it sucks that we didn't test the 380s then. And now that we are having a little bit of a change in market structure, the fact that we ran the low, and now I'm looking at this to possibly be a higher low. And so it's looking less optimal for this trade. Not over yet.
I think we just barcode.
I think we just barcode. And it's just one of those where I have to follow my process. As much as I want to do something different with this trade, I have to follow my process. And my process says I do not move the stop loss until we go and test these lows or break it. And I have to move my stop loss at an area which is a pivot. And to me, this is not a valid one, even though it almost was, and it looks good. If I was getting into a short now, maybe. But still, the most valid pivot I have is still up here, right above these 412s. Of course, I'm going to manage this, and I don't think I'm going to let this go all the way up. Now, if a news event hits and this market just spikes, I'm still going to end profitable because 4-point loss on what my open contracts are. I have already locked in $1,000, so this is still a profitable trade no matter what. However, I'd love to see this market either maybe it consolidates more, and if we do hold again, maybe we hold these 75s again and we push back down, then that would give me a good enough reason to move my stop loss down a little bit more. But as of now, this market's not giving me a reason to move my stop loss, unfortunately. What's going on with your dates? I haven't been on any dates, man.
I haven't been on any dates since Rufus. So.
Really?
Yeah, I've been kind of just trying to lock in on. I had a bad 2 weeks of trading, and I was like, I need to figure this out. Like, I can't be like, this is where I need to be putting my time and my effort, because I don't have a job now. So if my trading's bad, that's no rent paid, right? I mean, obviously, like, have some savings and other investments and stuff, but prefer to be making some income off trading.
Yeah, which is fair, but there's also a healthy balance. I will have to say that, because from my experience, you now have a lot of pressure on yourself, right? Where you're just like, there's no backup, there's no plan B. If I don't make money in the markets, then I need to pay my bills. That's a lot of pressure. But yeah, I highly recommend just making sure you dedicate time to your personal life too. But not like 2 weeks, not bad, right? Just don't let it get to like a month, 2 months, 3 months.
Yeah, and I talked about it on fast markets as well. It was just I think for me it was like hopping in the live stream trading, and like how quickly all my like social media and everything else grew. It was like people have expectations of you and all that, and I think that was getting to my head, and then started to clear that out. And this week my trading's been on point this week. Every single day it's been on point. So just really needed to like recenter and bounce back.
That makes sense. Well, go get some sleep, man. I'm gonna stay up with the chat.
I think I'm gonna call it. See if I can get out of this for break even. Hopefully.
Yeah. Let me switch it to your charts for a moment. If you want to go ahead and end it, I'll switch everything over to mine. And yeah, take care. Enjoy. If I don't see you, enjoy the weekend. Take some time away from the markets, and great trading. It was a good one. It was a good one tonight with you.
Yeah, it was a great one.
We were actually in the same direction
for once.
for once, and it worked out pretty well. And take care, man. Chat. I'm still gonna be
have a good night.
Live for another 20 minutes while we get Baron out of here. Take care and enjoy.
Yep, I'll see you later.
Yep, see ya. And he's gone. It's just us. It's just us. And now that it's just us, we can pump the music. We're gonna change the tune, the vibes. He was just there. Yeah, Baron's gone. Baron's gone. It's just us. And we've been just kind of consolidating. Just consolidating. I'm looking for a breakdown, everyone. I'm looking for that breakdown. I'll be on for another 20 minutes. Let's see. I don't want to end it with a cliffhanger. I've left everybody with a cliffhanger long enough. There we go. What's going on? Baron left, and now the market pushed down. Well, at least we know now comfortably that Baron was able to get out of that trade for a break even. So that's good. If we could break down to those 50s, then now I'm looking at moving my CYA, my stop, just above this pivot. But man, look at that. That's I need to see that push lower though. Some Dakota After Dark. Now that we're all alone, it's just us, just me in the chat. Break even? I thought he was up. No, Baron's up. I'm just talking about that second position he entered. He just got out of scratch. I think he ended up like 1,800 or 2,000. Where he got out and then he got back in at like 65. And he's like, I'm just going to close out for scratch on this entry and then get some much needed sleep. Yeah, look, now we're selling off. All right, I'm messaging him. Saying, hey, market sold off. Thanks. Enjoy your night. Yeah. Yeah, let's see. Let's see if this market could hold. Let's break and start to sell off here. Yeah, we need to break the 60s, get back into these 50s. My stoicism is inspiring. Well, thank you. Thank you. I try. I really do try. And bounced up just 7-8 points on that. Well, chat. This market can consolidate for longer than we could sit here and chill. Just a 12-point ripper off that the 61. Not liking that. That is not what we wanted to see. Might have to just get out of this and see where we're at. I'll close this one out and go into fast markets. I am on for fast markets tomorrow morning. So we know. But this market's just slow markets. Thought that maybe we would get a second leg there for a moment. A second down leg. Right, where we had... This is what... It looked like it. It looked like it for a minute. That we might get something like this. Where we get that second move lower. But... Not right now. Right back. Chop. You've been long micros? Well, this is where slow markets gets its name. This is definitely where slow markets gets its name. It's been anything but slow for the past few months. So we're back on. Back on for slow markets. Unfortunately. Take the profits. It's worth 3 years worth of a massage. I've already taken profit. I've already taken profit. I've taken $1,000. Advise, I do scaling up at the wrong time and end up with loss. Try focusing on just one position size. Try not to scale up. Yeah, this is... Are we going to see something like this? Right? Now? Do we see a breakout to the long side? I wanted to see these 80s test, but I was wanting to see those 80s test earlier. Now I don't think I want to see these 80s test, to be honest. We might come up, hit the 80s, come back down to the 70s, and just chop. 76s again. You should listen to this kind of music when you're trading more. It's nice. It's been really nice having music during slow markets. Experimenting a little bit with the different music genres and different music. It's been good. There's no longer like awkward silence. All right, here's that breakthrough into those 80s. Okay, let's watch. This is going to be important. Let's see how we react. Longs are loving this. Shorts, like me, is not. Let's see how we react. Support becomes resistance. Maybe, maybe not. This is what I was wanting to see. Well, I wanted it to go down. This is the secondary option, how we react in these 80s. I'm not going to add to this. If I wasn't in a position, this would be this is the area that I think even Barron wanted to short up here. This is what I wanted to see actually on this push. This move is where I wanted to see the 380s. Or we just keep breaking higher and I'm like, all right, dang it. This trade didn't play out how I thought. And then I close out for profit and I'll be on it in the morning. But yeah, let's see how we react. Let's see how this market reacts. Too many people were looking at the 380s. VWAP on the 1 minute, beautiful bottom ticks. Who's in long? Traders who are long. Very happy on this trade, right? This, I don't know, however you want to measure it, but yeah, that's beautiful long setup for those buyers. I already closed one. I closed one off right down there at 56. It's tempting to add, but I'm not. It's very tempting to add. ES making equal highs, NQ made higher high. What's gold doing? Gold's not doing anything. Oh, if gold could break through. If gold breaks out to the long side. If not, maybe we just chop. We have a chop session. Yeah, we're pushing. $56 was your short entry? Do we go all the way back up to 400? Am I going to be forced to close this one out? Chat. I think so. Yep, we hesitated there at 80s, and this thing is going. Well, I think that's it. I'm not seeing the resistance I wanted to see. Close it. Take the money and run. I mean, so far it's been a 40-point bounce. Or end of market. Add. This is a decent area to add, but I wanted that to hold. I wanted that right there at the 80s to hold. I don't think we're going to see this big of a move. This was 56 points, 57 points, right? If we're measuring this. 57 points. I don't expect that. I mean, we could get it, right? 57-point rally. And then we have a 85-point sell-off. I love my stop loss, though. My stop loss is in a great position. I got greedy. I have already taken profits. This is risk-free trade, everyone. Which asset is this? This is the NASDAQ futures. Buy the dip market continues over and over and over. So far, man. So far. Buy the dip. We got down to 350 and bounced. You were long blowing on the bottom of your monitor. When are you planning to take a technical session? I'll do a technical. It's probably going to be on a Tuesday, though. Not this upcoming Tuesday. Most likely the next. I will not add to this. Do you call Asian session slow market? Yeah. Yeah, this is slow markets. Like, if you zoom out and look at, say, like a 30-minute chart. I mean, look at this consolidation we've been through. So slow. So slow. And choppy. Dang it, chat. Why is it that I want to add to this position? Why do I want to add? I think I might just let it play out. Why do I have so many fake Dakota accounts? There's a lot of fake stuff. If you see it's not me, just report it. Just report. There's a lot. Add on FVG. Where's the FVG? How do you know you're the real one? I mean, you look at the tag, right? On Twitter, look at the tag. That's the real one. And it has a blue check mark too. I don't know if the others have. I don't know. Just be cautious out there. Have a good night. Well, I think that's it, chat. I stayed 30 minutes late. Nothing's real. I mean, we're bounced up. We blew through those 80s that I was looking for. Stop loss is the valid spot. Unfortunately, the market didn't give me a reason to put my stop loss there. With hindsight, yeah, I would have loved to have my stop loss, but we didn't really push down, and we're right back here in these mid-90s. So I think I'm going to leave it like that. Follow this trade if you want. Money's money. Locked in the profit. Worst case scenario, I'm going to end the night up, what, $800, $900. So take care, and I will see everybody bright and early tomorrow morning. Bright and early tomorrow morning. Take care, everybody. Bye.